I got the idea for this series of videos after seeing the voice modulator. In this video, I want to show you 3 items craftable by anyone that often get overseen, and some chemical know-how for the proper use of the portable mixer. Let's start with a voice modulator. To make this, you need a voice trigger. Some stations have it mapped, but most often science has to research explosive technology. Now we need 5 LV wire and a gas mask. The voice modulator will hide your voice identity and change the accent. You will be read as unknown when talking. The modulator, of course, works like a normal gas mask for internals. With this item, you can properly hide your identity without the need for ANTAG items. Enjoy sending bomb threats on comms or cryptic messages for security, vaguely indicating where all the human meat is coming from. The next one is a very old item, the bladed Flatcap. Easy to craft, only needing 1 shard of glass and, of course, a flat cap. Now for combat, this item is mediocre at best. 5 damage on swing and 10 if thrown. Even if it has piercing, is absolute garbage. However, is not combat what we are going to use this for. Sometimes you just need to get through a grill, but it is electrified. And you don't have insoles. Usually this would mean we have to throw random stuff at it for a while to get rid of it. However, the damage on the cap is actually decent enough to break the grill in 5 fast throws. This can be useful for quick raids on the NG Vend, break the window with bats, and the grill with caps. Last item before going into Greytide Alchemy is the portable chemical mixer. All the components for it can be found easily or made in an autolathe round start. The portable chemical mixer is basically a chem master with a 400 unit buffer. We can get the beakers to work in it on the kitchen. We can use this thing to make simple chemical mixes and separate different chemicals for cleaner results. Let's make some lube as an example. Some items once grinded or juiced will yield chemicals. We can use this and several other methods to acquire our chemicals without the need to ask chemistry. A microwave works like a worse hot plate in case you need to heat anything, in my case, for silicate. The next ingredients for lube is water and oxygen. For the former, we can get a tank, and for the latter, we will need electrolyzer for water or a condenser that extracts the oxygen from canisters, or distro. Now mix 10 units of silicate, oxygen and water, and you will get 50 units of lube. The portable mixer is quite large on the inventory, but it does allow to carry 400 units of whatever mischief juice you made. Now this lube, of course, you could just spill it around, but we can do some much more just by adding some machines to our little chemical lab, all of which can be made round start by science. We will need an actual chem master, electrolysis unit, probably several centrifuges and a hot plate to get a full working Greytide laboratory. From now on, I will use a blue space beaker for the sake of my sanity. We will see where and how to acquire different chemicals. Grinding plastic yields oil and phosphorus. Grinding steel yields iron, carbon and lead. Lead is a powerful slow poison. Grinding glass yields silicon. Grinding plasteel yields plasma, iron and carbon. Plasteel can be easily obtained by unwrenching reinforced tables. Emergency flares yield more useful stuff like charcoal and sulfur. Salt and sugar can be obtained in the kitchen. Condiment vendor is your go-to for salt. You can also ask in the bar for a jug of sugar from the drink dispenser. To get potassium first, you need to juice the bananas, then you need to centrifuge the banana juice. This is why you might want several centrifuges to mass produce a certain chemical. Electrolyzing water will yield you oxygen and hydrogen. Nitrogen will be obtained via condensing the gas in nitrogen canisters. Centrifuging welder fuel will yield ethanol, hydrogen, and more sulfur. Now that we have a big selection of chemicals at our disposal, it's time to make some fun stuff. Most recipes can be seen in the guidebook. Full stack of gunpowder is made using 60 potassium, 20 charcoal, and 20 sulfur. If we ever need more ash for charcoal, burn paper, then insert it into the beaker. Now let's make a mix that sets people on fire. We need napalm and flog. Make some napalm following the recipe. But before making flog, make sure you have a way to dispose of the waste plasma gas it generates, otherwise you risk a plasma fire. Add 10 flog and 90 napalm. Then just splash people with your beaker, slow to kill, but if the person does not try to extinguish, they will most likely ash. You can even wide swing with it. Polytrinic acid is another option to splash people with, not my favourite. Caustic damage is not so good anymore since it can be healed via surgery. But by mixing potassium, sugar and phosphorus, you can make smoke, add some acid, And now you've got a deadly cloud of caustic damage. Have the chemicals separated on different beakers, then mix them on the spot. This can be used with any other chemical, like the fire mix we used before. Lead is a slow-acting poison that's hard to get rid of. If you get poisoned with lead, prepare to swap livers, or you will spend the next 15 minutes healing the constant poison build-up. Grinding power cells yield zinc. Mixing it with lead makes lycoxide. People injected with lycoxide get randomly shocked. Lycoxide can be mixed with vestine to make tazanide, basically a better version of lycoxide. Worse nocturine, in my opinion. Now, for the chemical you've probably been expecting to see here, desoxyephedrine, aka meth. Making ephedrine is totally possible using our current resources without the need to visit chem. However, there is a problem named iodine in our road. To make meth, iodine can only be obtained by grinding the salt mineral. And if you know something about mining, then you know no one brings salt because there's a waste of space that's not used in any crafting recipe. So sadly, we will need to ask for iodine in chem. Now that we got it, just mix the chemicals and heat up. Make sure the temperature is not near 420 Kelvin, otherwise the meth will blow up. And there we go, homemade meth. Fentanyl is a beast of its own. This is the final boss of your crack house, and I leave it up to you to figure it out. Now let's make some fluorosurfactant for our lube. Fluorine is a chemical that can only be obtained at chem as far as I know. No workaround this time. This one, most likely you will need to steal. Fluorine is a known ingredient for explosive mixes, so chemist will most likely deny any request for it. Place equal parts fluorosurfactant and water into different beakers and fill the rest with space lube. Once mixed, it will make a giant cloud and flood the place with lube. If you place this exact mix on a voice-triggered chemical grenade, you can make an escape lube bomb. If security officer cuffs you, say the word and the place will fill up with lube. Once the officer slips, run away and break out of cuffs. And that's all for today. Greytide Worldwide. See you in the next video.